This is Pat Wright Whitaker, riffrelevant.com, and my guest this evening is Mike Cummings from Backwoods Payback. So, Mike.
Yes.
Backwoods Payback is on the road, 2018, few dates into the tour. How's it going?
It's been awesome.
Awesome.
It's been the best tour that we've had in years and possibly ever. And we're out with
That's bold.
Really? No, it is. It is. It's every band, everybody is crushing it every night. It's just been awesome.
Now, do you like being on the road?
I love being on the road.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Being on the road is probably where I feel the most.
Awesome. Of course, you all are out with Royal Thunder, and I know a few dates with Heavy Temple.
Yeah, the first four were Heavy Temple.
Okay.
And that was fantastic, man. That's like hanging out every day with two of your favorite bands that are filled with some of your favorite people in the world.
Makes all the difference.
It's incredible. Yeah. Even if you weren't playing, that would be like a vacation if you just went and hung out with your friends, but you got to play music at the same time.
Not like a 9 to 5.
Right, now.
I don't know if there's been much attention on this, but if I'm not mistaken, 2018 is the 15th anniversary of Backwoods Payback's formation, more or less.
I think it is.
I think
it's
about 2003, I think, maybe the start.
Yeah. Probably. I probably had the idea for it in 2003 was probably when it finally started. And
any plans might arise to commemorate the occasion?
I didn't even think about it, honestly, until right now. No, I guess we should do something, though. Yeah. I mean, it's early. It's January.
Yeah.
We
got a whole year.
We got a whole year.
Yeah.
We didn't start the band until I think it was May of that year. So
we're still
I got some time.
Shy.
Yeah. I can do something there.
Awesome. Speaking of the origins of Backwoods Payback, how did the band originally form?
I was in a hardcore band from outside Philadelphia called Last Place, and I was in that band for probably 6 years, and we toured full U.S., put out our own records, just 100% DIY, got in the van, did it, and it kind of ran its course, and I was just singing in that band, and I had always had these ideas for songs, and they just didn't translate well into that group of people that were playing. And so the band broke up, and I got home and had nothing to do, and I just started. I think I bought a 4-track and taught myself how to use it, and just started literally laying down drum tracks and then listening to them and putting guitar over it and then singing over it. And so then I just started handing the tape to my friends and saying hey, is anybody into this? Is anybody into this?
That's the way it was done.
Yeah, and a couple friends were down with it, and so I think I was without a band for 3 months total, and then Backwoods started, and I guess 15 years later here we are.
What inspired the name? I'm always curious about the name.
Yeah, we get asked that all the time, and everybody thinks
cliche question.
Right? No, totally. And everybody thinks it's some kind of is it a deliverance thing?
Like Appalachian Vendetta? Or something?
And it is 100%. This is the truth. I have said many things drunkenly, but this is the honest to God truth. We were just fucking with each other at the house, and just lighting shoelaces on fire and tying things together. And somebody had done something, and I was like, you don't want me to get you back, man, because you don't want the kind of payback that's coming from out here, because we live out in the woods.
And there it was.
And it was funny, and it stuck. And then when we started jamming, and one of the friends that was there that night was like, well, what are you going to call your new band? And I was like, it's called Backwoods Payback. And that was it.
And 15 years later.
15 years later, a dumb joke still persists.
Now, are your roots are basically in hardcore, or
me personally? Yeah, I think I loved, I mean, I grew up listening to Nirvana and Pearl Jam and Bad Brains, but then Depeche Mode blew my mind.
Yeah.
And then when you're younger and you want to play music, I feel like hardcore was I don't want to say it was the easy thing to do, but it was I can identify with it, and I can do that. I can't be Depeche Mode, but I can fucking play Black Flag songs.
Hell yeah.
So
with aggression.
Yeah, exactly. And so we did that, and then just got older, and your record collection gets deeper, and so you start absorbing all these different things into it. But I think in my heart, I'm just I'm a hardcore kid. That's who I am still.
Well, I know a lot of people point out the fact that Backwoods Payback itself has what they call a lot of like grunge or alt rock even type influence or sound to it. So that's a safe thing to say.
And I think that's a lot of that lately too comes from like just growing and getting older, and I guess that's like my subconscious like coming back out, and that's those sounds just keep bubbling back up in me, and I'm not trying to do it. It's just like it's just there.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. Well, I always liked diversity as far as musically and genre wise. Speaking of diversity, let's get up to Fire Not Reason.
Yes.
So that album's phenomenal. You know,
Thank you.
Eric slipped me a copy, you know, when it was first come out, and I really enjoyed it. Are y'all working on any new material? Or
we are. Yeah, we have like a big kind of like pot of songs that we're kind of working on, and we were like picking and choosing and playing some of them on the road and then not playing some of them on the road, and it was just kind of like we had to decide, like, are we going to go and play the best shit that we can do, or are we going to like try and experiment and do other things? And we just kind of, I don't know, we fell into like a let's just put our heads down and like play as hard as we can every night.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have like there's like 14 songs.
Awesome.
So what we're doing with them right now, I have no idea.
They'll hopefully surface.
Yeah, they will. They will 100% surface. I have no timeline on it, but.
Well, you and I spoke a little bit off camera about Eric Larson joining the band in 2016.
Yeah, I think he actually joined in 2015, maybe.
Okay.
But
it's
people,
very possible.
but people didn't know until 2016. But he's.
And you're well satisfied with his kit work, obviously.
There were times very early on in Backwoods Payback, and we played with Alabama Thunder Pussy and Axe Handle, which was like another project of Eric's that's just like the guys just like hit after hit after hit.
Awesome.
And going back to Avail, even I was just like, that's the drummer. Like that's if I could just say like I'm going to play with someone, it's going to be him.
Yeah.
And I never asked him, because it just always seemed like that didn't make sense. He lives in Richmond and we live in Westchester, and we just like kept having problems keeping someone behind the drums, and like no one wanted to do like what we wanted to do, and I was really down, and I was gonna just stop playing altogether.
Well, God forbid.
It's just like hit after hit. And I got a letter from Eric in the mail, like a handwritten letter, and I read it. I was like, wow, man, that's so cool. Like, I hadn't talked to him in a while. And so I wrote him a letter back. And a month later, I get another letter. And so we start just writing letters back. And we have each other's numbers. Yeah. And we have each other's, like, emails.
Doing it old school.
Yeah. But it just started like that. And then in one of the letters, I was just like, dude, I'm at a loss. I think I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And at the time, like, we had shows booked. And this dude that was playing with us was flaked, and so I had to cancel it. And it was the first time I had ever had to do anything like that. And I swore when I was 18 years old that I wouldn't book something and then cancel it unless I was dead, unless they buried me. You know?
Death or jail.
And he responded to that letter, and it was just like, you do know I'm a drummer. And it's like seeing those words on a paper, I was like
eureka.
Yeah, because I was never gonna ask him. I was never ever gonna ask him, but he pretty much was just like, I'm your drummer. I was like, okay.
And then it was like, got a better one.
No, and it was like, how are we going to make this work? And he was like, I don't know. We just will. He was like, I used to go to Boston and play with Morn. You're closer than Boston.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true. I remember when he did that.
So I think we started playing in the fall of 2015, and we just were like, fuck it, let's just not worry about playing old songs. Let's just the three of us get in this room in the basement and hang out. And like, we love Eric and his family so much, and like Jess gets along perfectly with him, and I do, and he loves Jess, and we're just three friends. The chemistry is so unique, and it's so wonderful. And we just every week that we would get together, it was like, oh, there's 3 more songs. There's 3 more songs. There's 2 more songs.
Naturally.
It just naturally. Yeah. And we had a record, and so we recorded it in February, I think, of that following year, and. Yeah, and then only then did we announce that, like, oh, we're still a band, and Larson's in the band, and there's a record coming out.
I totally dumb lucked upon it myself. You know, saw a news blurb somewhere about it. I don't think Eric had even told me at that point that that I saw it, and I'm like, "Are you Backwoods Payback now?" Yeah. So, speaking of Eric and the band, and you mentioned experimentation, dude, the Dirge video is fucking mind blowing. Yeah. Now, as far as the video itself, now, was that the creation of an outside entity? Did you all have say on that? Because, I mean, go see the Dirge video and you'll understand what I'm talking about. The overlaying of the faces and the imagery and shit.
That was just a vision that I had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That video is possibly the closest that I've ever seen something that I, like, explained to someone actually done. In visuals. Yeah. It was really cool. I don't know. I think I was driving one night and just started thinking about it, and I wrote it all down, and our friends run like a film company in Westchester, and I told them the idea, and they were just like, this is going to be weird, we can do this. So
and they did it.
And they did it.
Because it's a phenomenal video, man. I like it.
Thank you.
I want to touch upon a couple other things real quick. 2017, you all, I think, did an acoustic song, Softer Than Love. No.
Yeah.
Is that the title of it?
Yeah,
Softer Than Love.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, it was inspired by or connected to Chris Cornell's passing at some level. And I noticed a nod to Andrew Wood in the lyrics. Yeah.
Totally.
So, you take influence from this grunge scene and that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I mean, that goes back to, that was what I loved listening to, and I still love listening to. Yeah, that was very sad.
Yeah.
I wrote that. I woke up and I heard that, and like literally just kind of walked in the living room, was strumming it, and that just came to me. And
it's very poignant, profound, touching track.
Thank you.
And you can get it and all Backwoods Payback stuff on bandcamp.com. While we're speaking of that, I want to hit a couple more things real quick.
Yeah.
We're out in the cold, so we'll just blaze through it. Roadburn 2017. Yes. Now, was that your first trip to Roadburn?
That was our first trip to
How
Roadburn.
was that?
That was incredible. That was something that was like on the list of, do you think we could do this? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm not gonna try, but I'm gonna but I'm just gonna kind of try. But yeah, it was awesome, man.
Yeah, I've never been, and to me that seems like that'd be like one of the most premier festivals.
It's incredible. It's just like everywhere you look, people are just, hey man, hey. Even if you don't know each other, you're there.
Yeah.
Like, why else are you in Tilburg in April? And it takes over this town, and the town like embraces it fully, and everybody there's just like, here come those metal kids, man. But it's awesome, and the venue's so well, and it runs like clockwork.
That's what everybody says.
Yeah, and Walter's really he's a genuine, true, legitimate fan of everything that's going on there, and like, if you want FaceTime with him, you will have it. You just go like, hey, where's Walter?
So he's like real hands-on.
Hands-on. He is hands-on everything. If he sees you, he's like, are you good? Like, I'm this dude from Westchester. You have like dudes from Neurosis over there. I'm fine, man. Like,
just glad to be here.
Yeah, totally.
Well, I want to touch on one more thing. Backwoods Payback is playing my favorite U.S. festival this year, Maryland Doomfest.
Yes.
Coming June. Are you stoked?
I am so stoked.
Hell yeah.
I was a little worried that we were never going to do it. We were never going to do it because Frederick was like one of our home bases. They helped us so much, like the Earthright dudes and the Obsessed guys and the Polar Bear Lair and Krugs. There was such like a amazing scene that just welcomed us in, and then I just watched JB and Mark like grow that thing. It's like, oh my God, this thing is so good.
I've been going since year one, of course, man. Right. It gets better and bigger every year, and there's such a great vibe there, man. As far as the whole family type feel.
And Eric, so Jess and I were away last year, and Eric went, and he went for all 3 days, and he said he was like, I've never said this before, there was not a bad band.
Yeah.
Like, I watched every band, and every band was cool.
Yeah, definitely. Somebody's picking some good acts. All I can say,
totally.
And I saw Larson there and enjoyed some of the great bands. I'm stoked to see y'all there. I'm stoked to see Backwoods Payback for my first time. I've had a couple incidents fall through in the past to see them.
Some crisscrosses.
Yeah, and stomach viruses the last time y'all were in town. But
that thing went through our van, and now it's tearing through Royal Thunder's van, man.
If there's something viral, I always catch it.
You better stay far away from Royal Thunder.
Now you tell me. Anything in closing, Mike? I always like to throw out any last words from you, anything you want to share?
I'm just happy to be playing. I'm happy to be alive, and I'll see you on the road.
From Mike's lips to God's, Lucifer's, and whoever the hell's ears out there, you want to say Mike Cummings, Jessica Baker, Eric Larson, they are Backwoods Payback. They're on the road right now with Roll Thunder, and they will be at Maryland Doomfest this year, 2018. Thanks for everything. Pat Wright, Whitaker, riffrelevant.com, my guest Mike, and we're out.
Peace.